Fulfillment of the season to our lovely viewers out there. Thank God we made it to the new year, one that will be filled with great and creative things. We have some of them on this week's episode of Art House. We see the new things happening at the Brilliant Brush Gallery's new space with these lovely works of art. They're the latest pictures captured by this photographer, and for a good deed too. And talking about good deeds, we see this collaboration between two groups which births this exhibition that breathes. We have details of that and more when Art House returns after we hear from our wordsmiths. A warm welcome to the program. I'm Melinda Akinlami.
Our wordsmith for today is called Sitting at the Edge of the World by Andres Alagba, and art is by Wilcox Bralate. What breathes behind the broken bricks? What bends below the broken bricks? For beside the broken bricks, built of emotions, are fragile as broken bridges. Sit bonding, boy and bird, broken in more colors than one, broken in all shades of red. The not-so-distant singing is a seagull, with the numb swaying as the sea lulls. Again, the world is black and white, just how we read. The fleeting flames of nonchalance burning violently, because the boy knows curiosity kills the cat. Yet, let the wind lead his wings. Yet, let the sea steal his dreams. Yet, let the bricks be his seat. Again, the world is black and white, just how we read. Except for the broken bricks from broken bridges pouring red.
We appreciate our wordsmith every time. Thank you for taking your time to pen down those words. Aurora is the title of the opening exhibition at the Brilliant Brush Gallery in Lagos.
Aurora, the Second Coming is an exhibition that formally introduces the audience into the new space that brings about a new dawn for the Brilliant Brush Gallery, Lagos.
Aurora is like the dawning, and we felt, no matter how bleak things have been, there will be a dawn, and we have to embrace that dawn. We have to believe in it, and whatever we believe and focus on will be our portion at the end of the day. So that was the message, and because I'd done an Aurora before, I felt, okay, Aurora, the Second Coming, and it shall be that way.
The gallery is already renowned for displaying high premium works of art done by contemporary artists on the African continent, and the founder, Kenneth Anyamosigwe, did not disappoint in curating another successful show.
There is a gap between the artists, because they are creatives, and the general public. And somebody has to bridge that gap. And we think, he said, I think you'll be a good bridge between those artists, the creatives, and the general public. So that was how we birthed Brilliant Brush Gallery. That was some 10 years ago. And when we did, the agenda for me, because I was just a passionate collector, a lover of art, and an enthusiast to the core, was just to say, okay, how do I help this artist? How do I be a voice for them? And that was the message, that was the vision, and the purpose of Brilliant Brush Gallery. It wasn't about money.
speaks to you, and is a reflection of life. And when you see art, you can see life in art, and you can see yourself in some of the works of art, and you can see that, you know, some of them are so vibrant and colorful, and it makes you happy. It makes you happy to look at art, and for me, I love to look at art.
One of the ones that really caught my eye was a particular one that had a boy, two boys, holding each other. They were like at play, and they were holding themselves, playing outside, and then it just brought lovely childhood memories about my brothers. So I loved that. And there's another one that I like. There's a lovely one there of the lady just gazing and smiling. I love that one as well.
Art is a form of expression. It's a form of love. It's a form of what's inside, you know, one's thoughts. So coming this evening, it's lovely to see the different types of paintings, different types of art, different mediums in which people use to express themselves.
The best of Africa and telling his stories is always at the heart of the gallery's vision, and that's why the selection process is essential, because it must reflect this.
We have people like Emmanuel Anaye. Emmanuel Anaye does faces, different modes of faces, and we carefully pick the faces that depicted conquest, overcoming, and that sort of thing. So we carefully pick the paintings to speak to the message we're trying to put out there.
And very happy and joyous moods have been applied into all the arts I've seen here. And most of them with African feels to it. And depicting joy, depicting happiness, and very creative persons as well, because I also realized that a lot of them have different style of painting, which is very clear, and I mean on all the works, and they're very creative, very creative.
The works of art, which are done in various sizes, captures different issues happening in the society.
Look at what is happening in the world today. You know, there seems to be so much darkness, the invasion of Ukraine. So, you know, problem with logistics, people are not able to ship their products and move around everywhere. COVID is just about going away. So that actually speaks to me in a different way, just for you to understand that despite the dark eras, there will always be light at the end of the tunnel. So just always expect and look towards the end of the tunnel. That's the reason why I really want to get that. It has some, you know, it is an abstract art, and it has some, you know, the combination of colors, and then there is a human face to it as well, and then there is darkness, and there is also brightness. That's the reason why I love the art.
The mission is to ensure that more people embrace art and use it as an escape route to ease their minds.
From there, we move to another show. This one is called Statues Also Breathe. It's an exhibition which is all about the message. It talks about the education of the girl child and raises awareness about the plight of girls who are still missing in the country.
This traveling exhibition is the climax of a major art project done with the families of the Chibok schoolgirls, a sculptor, Prunuri, and the Department of Fine and Applied Arts at the Obafemi Awolowo University in Ile-Ife, Osun State.
Some years ago, I was traveling my project Terracotta Daughters, an army of girls based on the soldiers of China. And I heard about the abducted girls of Chibok, and also about the Ife head, the ancestral Ife heads. And it was my dream as a sculptor to go to Ife and sculpt with the Ife clay. And when I went to Ife for the first time, I went to the university and I met with the incredible team of lecturers and teachers, and we decided to collaborate on a project, a giant workshop with 108 students who created all these heads based on the 8 that I sculpted and the molds that the Lorraine Potters, a community of women, made. And so from the heads of the 15th century and from the portraits of the Chibok girls entrusted by the families, the students created their own heads and signed them on the neck. So it's 108 unique heads based on the Chibok girls' portraits entrusted by the families and by the Ife ancestral heads.
The title of the show, Statues Also Breathe, which is a huge communal engagement, is inspired by the ancient Ife terracotta heads, and the beauty of pottery is showcased at the Art 21 Gallery in Lagos.
What we try to do, is bringing, the workshop experience, as represented by the Ilorin Potters, with the academic experience as represented by the students of the department. So after we procure the clay, we gather these students, and the female potters together in molding the heads. So we molded the heads, combining, two things together. Because, usually, the workshop artists or those who learn art, under masters, maybe, roadside artists, Those of us in the academia think that, they don't even have the technical know-how. So we want them to know what we know. And we also want to benefit from that experience.
The Chibok girls were kidnapped by Boko Haram insurgents from their school in Borno State. Their families understand the horror of how it feels to wait and pray for a loved one in captivity.
What I noticed from this experience with the Chibok girls is that it's not only the people who kidnapped them who robbed them of their lives. Everybody else did too. We failed them. So the press that didn't stay on the story and moved on to juicier, more fun things, such as what's happening with the celebrities, who is sleeping with who. That is the stuff that we stayed on, minute by minute coverage of who said what on Twitter to who, how the person responded. This is what has become what defines what's important to us. The fact that 300, not 3, not 30, hundreds of our citizens, our sisters, were taken by armed men from their school. It didn't put the fear of God into all of us as a people.
This show aims to raise awareness about the plight of the girls who are still missing, while highlighting the global struggle for girls' education.
The moment I walked in and saw the heads, the clear heads, tears sparkled in my eyes. I got to where you have the video, talking about them. I felt like crying in my heart. I wasn't just okay. It took me time to come out of it. It's a sober time. That's what I would say.
It's a true honor for me to be here to celebrate with everyone who has been part of the project as a huge collaboration, to be able to have today not only the Chibok families, the daughters who escaped, but also all the students who made that project possible, the lecturers, the incredible teachers of the universities, students that comes from all across Nigeria, the Lorraine Potters, the women from Lorraine came also. So, this is a dream come true.
From here, this exhibition will be moving to other countries within Africa before heading to Europe and the United States of America.
I love such partnerships. We see art making a difference in the world, and it's a good time to really show and make a change in the world, especially as we have stepped into the new year. Really inspiring, just like the next artist we're about to see, but that will be after this short break. Join us again.
And these are the works of art you sent in this week. Let's begin with Childhood Series. It's a newsprint on canvas work done by Richmond Ajay. Then Chijioke has this black pen on paperwork called My Smile, My Personality. Then Olufemi Adedeji has this digital artwork called Ancestor 30. The Helping Hands is an oil on canvas work by Falupe Ibrahim. First Date is an acrylic on canvas work done by Adekunle Mayowa. Bello Toby is saying, I'm shy, with this color pencil on paperwork. Oyinlola Fajobi has Prestige. It's a sculptural piece done with metal nuts. While Taiwo is showing us the unity in strength with this charcoal and pastel pencil on paper piece. Which concludes our works of art for this week, as we encourage you to keep them coming and put your best foot forward as always.
Time will tell is the theme for the maiden edition of this photography exhibition by this creative in Lagos.
Time Will Tell is the theme of this solo exhibition by contemporary photographer Ayola Aziz in Lagos.
If you look at all the works we're exhibiting here today, it's about child abuse. And the question I asked myself, or I'm asking people, is does time truly heal? Does it heal our wounds? Does it heal what happens to us? And that is what inspires me to give this exhibition the title, Time Will Tell.
The images captured with attention to details explore different issues in the society.
I've known Ayola for over 5 years or 7 years. I've known him personally and I've known his works. I've known him as a photographer, and not just a photographer, but a photographer with excellency, awesome work. But I think for me, what is most fascinating, about him, about the artist, him as an artist, is that he's gone into advocacy. Transitioning into advocacy is something that, another level of photography that tells you that you're fighting a cause, that tells you that you have a humanitarian agenda in your heart. And that, for me, is like one of the most beautiful things any photographer, that has come to that level would achieve.
It has an impact on our day-to-day lives of our human beings. And every picture here depicts the incidents which happen and go through our human life. So it gives a portrait of how we should be and how we should treat to others also. And we live all happily in this world.
He's quite creative and passionate about what he does, which is what is attractive to me regarding him. And he's also very focused. Because of his passion and his creativity, he's focused on what his role as a photographer and photography is about. So that's what I can tell you about him.
This photographer has been using some of his pictures to speak against violence meted out on children.
He has been trying to push out his ideas, his works out there, and particularly his campaign against child abuse and child molestation. He has had this idea for, I think, a few years now. He wants to tell the world how to fight against child molestation and child abuse. And today we have most of the images here depicting his campaign, his thoughts, his ideas, putting it into images and showcasing it to the world.
If you look at my work, they are direct, they are powerful, and the message is clear. And you know, it's about child abuse, child molestation. This is something that happens in our societies, and we need to work all together to eradicate this.
He's going farther than just showcasing images. Since it's a season for giving and sharing, part of the proceeds from the works of art sold have been given to charity to contribute to reducing sexual violence.
Ayola, who is a photographer, is a survivor of child sexual abuse, and he figured out that one of the ways he could get help and healing was by, when he got in touch with Tuchera Foundation. And since then, we've been working together to ensure that everybody's more aware of the fact that male children also get abused. You know, recently, society usually would neglect the fact that male children also get abused. More focus is on child sexual abuse amongst female children. But then we are glad that people like Ayola is coming up to talk about his experience as a child, and is using his experience to also encourage parents or to educate parents and raise awareness about child sexual abuse in male children, so that everyone can also be on the lookout, watch out for the signs of abuse in children, and also take precautionary measures to forestall sexual abuse in children.
And as for what to expect from the art world this new year?
Next year, you're expecting another walk of beauty of my work, and I'm still going to be talking about, though I don't have the topic yet, but I know I will definitely create a lot of works for next year. And trust me, just like this year, the message will be clear.
A lot of engaging, informative, and inspirational images have been displayed in Ayola Aziz's maiden solo exhibition.
Part of the proceeds is also going to charity, so another noble cause, and it's the season for giving, so good one to see creatives leading the pack. And there's so much more to see, but that will be on the next episode of Art House.
Coming up on the next episode, we enjoyed the grand finale of the 5th Beta Playwright Competition with the theme Our Stories, Our Voices at Muzon Center in Lagos. Then Invigoration is the theme for National Undergraduate Art Competition in Lagos. To this exhibition by the Sculptors Association of Nigeria called Elixir 2. We encourage you to keep liking, sharing, and viewing our page so more people can enjoy the ever-bubbly and ingenious art scene in the country.
Your Art House experience doesn't have to end when the show is not on television. Interact with us on our various social media platforms. See any edition of Art House on our website or YouTube page. Join our very interactive Facebook page by joining the group on Art House on Channels. We're everywhere.
That's the program today. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for being a good company last year in 2022. Let's know the great and new things you like to see on Art House in the new year. I'm Melinda Akinlami. Have a fabulous 2023.